So you're ready to cast off? Ooh, exciting. So yes, this I thought would be, I'll do an introduction into casting off. So we've done slip knot, cast on, knit stitch, what other videos I've done. I talked about the T word and also about mistakes. So if you're watching this in sequence, the last video I did was on mistakes. Little rambling one. Hopefully after this I'm going to do some little shorts for you, showing you how to fix mistakes. One of the things that I did say in the video was about taking it back if you've made a mistake. The one thing I do say to people in my Learn to Crochet workshop and in the knitting workshop is don't take it back. So I'm contradicting myself. I did actually watch back the mistake video to see how I can improve it, and I was contradicting myself because I was like, yeah, pulling it back's a brilliant idea, do it, but if you don't want to, don't pull it back. Also keep what you've done, so keep the things which have got mistakes in them and holes in them and extra stitches, because it's great to see how you progress. So you can be like, oh, is it so much better now? Or, oh, look at my first one and look at this one now. Because sometimes we can progress in things and we don't feel it because we're doing it slowly and steadily. We don't see that progression. Whereas if we keep the first thing that we've knitted, then we can see. So, yep, knitting is all about doing it, learning the principles, but then just doing it however you want to do it. So casting off. If you followed the scarf kits, then hopefully you get a nice bit of garter stitch going with the scarf. What I do, so lengths and sizes is good to know if you're thinking if you want a short scarf or a long scarf, to know how much the yarn that you want to use is going to take. But when you come to knit your scarf, I don't measure it really. I just put it on and I'll see, do I like that length? Or do I want it a little bit longer, a little bit shorter? Well, hopefully not a little bit shorter, but if I want it a little bit longer and I've still got yarn left, I carry on knitting. But then if I get to it and I'm like, nah, I like it this length, so I cast off. And then in the world of the knitting, in the world of the knitters, stash. I love stash. I have a lot of stash in my attic at home, and it all has memories for me. I don't plan on knitting with some of it. I have half finished garments in there, which I hope one day to finish, but then sometimes maybe I won't. I don't know. I'll see how I feel at that time. And I have yarn that brings memories, so memories of trips and things, getting them from certain places. So I don't have a problem with stash. I love stash. And also if you're thinking, oh, I only need a little bit of something. So say if I come to knit another scarf and I just want to what's the word, put a trim on or just have an accent colour, then, and it's the same weight, same thickness, then I'll look in my stash and I'll be like, yeah, you can use that up, and then it makes you feel good. There are other people out there, and hold on to your seats if you're a stasher, that don't have any stash. I've met them. And they like to use up every single bit of yarn and have none left over. So there are some people out there that will carry on knitting their scarf so they don't have any stash left over. Whew, I know. But well done those people who are very neat and organised, who don't like to have stash. So casting off. Once again, there will be a little short video close up for you to see. And again, if you go out there into the world of the internet, there are many different ways to cast off. I was only taught before the internet. So I was taught before the internet only one way to cast off. And that's the way that I've been casting off ever since. I have looked at the other ones out there and I've given them a go. But I like my old faithful. And I cast off. So here we have garter stitch. So I'm going to cast off in garter stitch. If this was a rib, I'd cast off in rib. So I cast off in pattern. So here we're just going to cast off knitwise, But if this was knit 2, purl 2 in a rib, then I would cast off in pattern. So I would knit 1, well, knit 2, cast off, then I'd purl 1, cast off, purl the next one, cast off, then knit 1, cast off, etc., etc. But here we're just going to knit, do it knitwise. So you knit 2 stitches, then you're going to slip the first stitch that's been knitted on your needle over the second stitch, and you do that by coming in purlwise to the first stitch and just lifting it up and over. Like I say, it's really tricky to show here, but I will show you on a, well, you can go and look on a short one. So then you're left with one on there, so you knit the next one, and again you slip off purlwise, so up and over, so you're always left with one. So up and over, come in purlwise to slip it off, up and over. And what I mean purlwise is I'm trying to show you backwards, but like that. Oh, so you're coming in like that, but obviously the other way around. But when you knit, you come in this way. So when you have a stitch, you come in that way, and when you purl, you come in that way. So it's up and over. Now the thing with the cast off is it can be quite tight, especially when you're learning. So just be aware of that, and you know, loosen up the stitches. So I always pull that up a little bit. Obviously it's getting it into the right rhythm, as it were, because you don't want it to be too loose and you don't want it to be too tight, a bit like Goldilocks. So yep, so you just go along here. So this is going to be quick because I want to try and get this in for you. So obviously if this is too quick, well, it will be for beginners, then I have done that short video for you to have a look. But then we've got to, I'm trying to do it in time, get it done. So you cast off all the way along to the end, where you're left with just one stitch. So that's your last stitch on the end. So you've I'm showing you like this. Oh my goodness. It's like I'm showing you, forgetting that the camera's up here. I talk to people in real life too much, you see. So that's your cast off, and then you're going to be left with one big stitch at the end, and this is when you're going to fasten off that. So you're going to break it, and you're going to bring that underneath. So that's your stitch on there, and you want to bring the thread underneath the stitch, and then you purl. And then I'll cut that off later. I'm going to see, I'm just doing this for the demonstration because I'm going to see if I'm going to knit with the rest of this. So I don't want to cut it off. And so that's another thing then, if you do your cast off and you change your mind, you can just undo it. This is not thread which is going to undo, but yeah, you can undo it. And you will notice that I've got a big stitch there, but by pulling that thread underneath, that will eliminate that big stitch. So yeah, the end. This is the end of our Learn to Knit journey, but hopefully the beginning of your knit journey. So hopefully you've done your first scarf and you're keen and eager to start something else. And yeah, I'm here if you want any help with that. And yeah, wow, I can't believe it's over. I don't want to go. Okay. Oh yes, I am rubbish at goodbyes. Let's say au revoir.